United States failed to cope with the burden of responsibility. They created a monopoly and began to strengthen it. The ruling elites soon faced the fact that the vast majority of the countries do not really like it. Everyone saw that resistance to the emerging world order was growing. Problems and failures began. Even the allies don't like it, but they are afraid to say too much. The ruling elites of the United States decided that they did not need the old system of world relations. The balance in the world has changed, and they have decided to rebuild the world order for themselves. In Iraq, Syria, and Yugoslavia, there were no decisions of the UN Security Council. The United States released this genie from the bottle itself. And when Russia began to protect its people in Donbass, why is the same not allowed for other countries?
Well, I asked the Russian president about relations between the United States and Russia, and also I touched on the fact that the Tucker Carlson interview that he did was very well received, that he came across as a different kind of leader, and that was good for American youth to see a kind of politics that's different, because in the United States, our politics is very much about sound bites and gossip, and he has more of a scientific approach to long-term strategy and statecraft. And he gave a very clear answer based on how the United States has conducted itself since the Second World War. And he talked about NATO, and he talked about unipolarity. He talked about how the United States invaded Iraq without the permission of the UN Security Council and the activities the United States has engaged in various places. It was a very sophisticated answer, basically making clear how the United States is conducting itself around the world and how this is a barrier to having the kind of relations that Russia and the United States should have as major countries that have a very big impact on the global stage. And he gave a very clear and precise answer. And I really appreciated it. And he was looking right at me as he spoke, and I could tell he was speaking to me. It is just a high-powered event. I've been doing a lot of live streaming and videos from the event, so many elaborate displays about technology, so many elaborate, operations, demonstration events, parades, many different countries participating, and it just shows the deep roots of relations that Russia has with so many countries. I mean, so many Latin American countries, so many African countries, the Middle East, Asia. I mean, it's just so many parts of the world that have a very, very deep relationship with Russia. And, in his remarks to the closing ceremony of the festival, where Putin was able to appear in person, he talked about the traditional values that kind of transcend cultures that bring us all together. This is what he said.
Despite all our differences, there is something that unites us. In Russia, we call this our traditional values. This is the foundation of our life, something that we all have in common. We are all equal from the moment we are born, thanks to our mother and father. This is how people are born. There is no other way, even with modern technology. We are all born equal. But here comes the question, are we growing up, developing equally? Unfortunately, no. There are no equal conditions in the world for everyone. And that is the main injustice of today's world. Is it possible to secure equal conditions for everyone to grow and develop? I don't know. But what I do know is that we should all strive for this. Even the very fact of striving to make the world more democratic, more stable, balanced, and safer.
So overall, the festival, I think, has been a smashing success. The Western media tries to portray Russia as being isolated, saying that Russia has been, cut off from the rest of the world. And that's a complete delusion. So many countries are here with big delegations of youth participating in the festival. Russian youth are bonding with youth from all over the world. They're sharing a vision of development and cooperation. They're celebrating the BRICS as an alternative to the Western financial system that's keeping so many countries in poverty. I would say the World Youth Festival, conducted at a time when Russia is also still engaged in the special military operation. The fact that they're able to conduct a festival like this shows a real strength on the part of the Russian government and Russian society in general.